Eddie, you've lost a remarkable game trying to win it. You must have very mixed feelings.
Yeah, very mixed feelings. I think I thought it was a great performance from us. Wasn't perfect, of course, but it was very good in the first half. Very dominant, very us, really high octane front foot football. The only thing missing in that really strong start to the game, or middle period of the first half, was goals. Concede a poor goal, first time in the game really where we're not quite aggressive enough. And then the second half was, of course, a very different game, a very different plan, but really well executed by the players. And despite of the fact that we went 2-0 down, and start the second half, massive challenge for us. So I can't fault the players at all. I thought they gave so much to the game. Absolutely gutted for them that we have nothing to take from it.
I realise this is about the last thing you probably want to talk about, but there were reports today that the owners have met Alex. Is there anything you can tell us about that?
Yeah, I'm not aware of that, but I've not been party to talks on this for a long time now. So I've been preparing the team, giving all my energy to the players that want to play for Newcastle. I think that's where my energy is best put at the moment.
Thank you. Lee Ryland?
Eddie, obviously you're in the last sort of few days of the window now. Is there a danger that you could get pulled into perhaps signing a player that was nowhere near the top of the list at the beginning of the window?
Well, I think your names at the beginning of the list and the end of your names at the beginning of the window and the end of the window are always very different, because a lot of the players will have moved. So naturally, I think that's always the case if you're still active in the market, which we are. But as I've said all through the window, we have to be careful we don't make a decision that impacts the long term and future windows and gives us big problems. So any decision we make will always be based around controlling PSR, good financial decisions, but also against our need, and our need is there. So let's see what happens in the next few days.
Do you still retain any hope that you could perhaps keep Alex at this club?
Yeah, as I say, I'm not party to the talks that have been happening, so I've got no idea where that stands right this second.
I'll go to Luke, George, and then Dominic, please. Luke?
Me?
Yes.
Anthony Gordon's red card, I presume you don't have any complaints about it. I mean, you've seen it back.
Yeah, I've seen it once, and very rushed. It was as the game was going, as the game had restarted, so naturally I wanted to see it and then wanted to move on very quickly. I think there's no intent from, and he's gone in, of course, probably too quickly. I think he's tried to pull out and not commit any damage to Virgil as he's gone into slide. It's an unfortunate one. I think he's slightly unlucky with it. Everyone's told me it's a clear red. My first opinion was slightly different, but maybe I've got the wrong angle. So I've got sympathy for him though.
The chairman is here. He has the final say on everything that happens to this football club. Is it time for him to make that decision on Alexander Isak's future? Presumably that's one of the reasons why he's here.
Yeah, I don't know why he's here, in a sense that if that's the main reason he's here, obviously to watch the team, support the team, and show his presence, which is a much appreciated from my perspective, and much loved by everyone when he's here and connecting with the players. Yes, you're right, he's the owner, he's the most important person in terms of directing which decisions we make. But as I said, I'm not party to any conversations that have happened today, so I've got no idea what direction that's in.
It's been a very draining, just one more on this subject, it's been a very draining, very distracting saga for everybody, I think, associated with the football club. Does it make sense to make a definitive answer on what's happening before September the 1st rather than drag it out right until the end of the window?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the ideal from everyone. Our side, Newcastle side, is we want clarity, we want to move forward, we want the sort of narrative to change, because we're in the start of the season now. We're into the action, and we've got to get results, and we've got to try and focus on what we can control. We've given 2 really, really good performances. We've ended up with 1 point. That's tough for us to take, in this, especially in this moment where you're looking for positive to cling to. But we battle through, and we now go on to Leeds.
Thank you.
George?
Eddie, you now lose Anthony, who's your stand-in striker, for 3 matches. Doesn't that make it even less manageable, the idea of losing your actual centre forward?
Yes, of course. If you do the maths, we're running out of options, in that position. But again, I have to look at positives. George, when I'm sat here now in this moment, I can't go to the negative world. So Osula came on today, scored a goal, did well. I was very pleased with him. So it's a big opportunity potentially for him.
I'm sure there's a lot of devastation in the dressing room after the game ends like that, but it must be kind of galvanised as well by the two performances, all the noise around the club at the minute. At one point it doesn't feel like a kind of great reward for those two matches. There must be a real sense of defiance after a game like that.
Yeah, well, you hope so, and I think that's what we have to make sure comes out of it, because we've given two great performances, I think, and we've shown our togetherness and unity, we've shown our fighting spirit, we've shown that we have put the distractions around us away, but you'd just like a bigger return to sort of show ourselves and show the rest of the world that is the case. Sometimes football doesn't give you that, and I do believe, though, you'll get your rewards longer term if you continue to play as we have done, and I think that's what we need to focus on.
Hi Eddie, you lost quite a few players today, Tonali, Joelinton, Schar going off. How are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know. They're genuine injuries. They've come off in the middle of the game, and that'll be a huge blow to us. Joey doesn't look great, to be honest, especially when the signal was so early when he went down. Sandro, again, doesn't look good. Couldn't move his arm. He said he wanted to stay on, but wasn't functioning properly. Obviously, we lose Anthony through suspension and Fabian through concussion.
Handed out a couple of debuts today, Thiaw and Jacob Ramsey coming on. Weren't on the pitch for very long, but certainly made an impact in the game.
Yeah, I thought they both did well, and I think that's the big moment for them, because I think you only truly feel part of the club when you play as a player. So, I think they can be really pleased. They're now into their rhythm, and they're going to be hugely important players.
Throw some Craig, Scott and Martin.
Eddie, in the opening two games you played well enough to win both. Because of that, is there a feeling of frustration towards Alex, or a feeling of, if he comes back, this is actually what we need to turn draws and defeats into victories?
Yeah, I think, definitely the quality of Alex, I think he would have made a difference in the two games. I don't think there's any denying that. But that said, the team's functioned really well, and I think the performance of the players and the team in the two games doesn't happen without every part of the team functioning well. You can't carry anyone in this division against any opponent. So yes, we maybe today in that first half needed to score when we were on top, and goals do change games as always, but just dealing with what we have, Craig, really.
And then just so you know, on Friday you said you hadn't spoken to Alex since last week. Have you spoken to him since?
No.
Scott and Martin will finish with Mark, please.
I mean, we've had a lot of talk this summer already about who's committed to Newcastle, who isn't, all that kind of stuff. When you see the leaders that you had out there, specifically your Bruno, your Sandro, your Dan, Kieran, the way that they've kind of galvanised themselves and tried to pull everyone together, that must A, make you proud, but B, give you a lot of confidence for whatever happens, that you can still kind of, salvage the season, not because it's so early, but get what you want out of the season.
Yeah, those guys do make me proud, and I think their spirit and togetherness has never been in question. They're absolutely entwined into Newcastle. They want to be here, they want to play. They're connected to the club in a way that is for me is really deep, and you need all the players to feel that connection. And I think the supporters create that, really. And you look at the environment tonight that Liverpool had to play, and that was an incredible place to play football. Yes, I'm focused now, and I'm disappointed we haven't got more from the game, but as a football club I thought we showcased our talents really well today, and the players did the same. But we're going to need that unity throughout the season. This isn't going to be a simple season for us, and we're already being challenged in ways that maybe we didn't expect, so we need to rise to that challenge.
Martin.
Many senses to notice what an heroic display for you players. Tonali plays on with one arm more or less. Joelinton probably would have stayed on with one leg sometimes. Fabian Schar has to come on for the head wound. Is that the first, from listening, is this the first time the frustration towards Alex is starting to come out with what you just said there, but you want players who are committed to Newcastle United?
No, there's no intentional dig to Alex. but naturally I want players that are committed to Newcastle. That's one of the most important qualities when you put a team out on the pitch, that they show. So that's no dig to anybody. That's just every manager will feel the same way.
Thank you. Fast to finish, please.
The supporters today created, like you said, the atmosphere that was incredible. But have you got words for them and what they've managed to do tonight?
Yeah, not just during the game, but I think afterwards as well. It was much appreciated how they responded to the players as we walked around the pitch. I thought they were magnificent today. I mean, that's right up there in terms of atmospheres that I've experienced. They couldn't have done any more. Hopefully they feel that we couldn't have done any more in terms of what we gave the game. And if we keep that connection, we'd be fine.
Do you think with Osula, just came on, did really well, do you think he could lead the line for you at Leeds? Is he there to the point where he could start the Premier League?
Yeah, I think he's done himself no harm today. He scored a vital goal for us, took it really well, led the line well, albeit we were down to 10 men, and that's a difficult moment for the team, but everyone gave so much in that second half.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Thank you. Cheers.